it's another fuck you to our good friend Tamra. Before we get into some New Jersey, well, let's get into Jersey for a minute. Couple of things are going on in New Jersey. I have to give credit to a woman named Tara, who is one of our Patreons here on Saturday. A woman named Tara. Because look, Teresa's doing a whole bunch of interviews, okay? I really don't want to listen to every word that Teresa says, but it's kind of my job here. So this woman, Tara, brought this to my attention, and I'm like, this isn't true. But then I looked into it, and Teresa did say this herself. So Teresa is claiming, we have to put a footnote on this. Teresa says that Bravo execs have stepped in to separate her and Melissa. That at BravoCon, which guys, if you don't have your tickets to our live show, get them. We're going to cover BravoCon all Friday, all Saturday, all Sunday, me and Sarah Fraser. And at the end of that weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Sarah Fraser and I are doing a live show. At the live show, every single person gets a question for those of you who have not attended. It's not really a podcast. It's we can dish about BravoCon, but it's literally like, here's the thing, let's start. What is your question? Your question's asked in front of the whole audience. So everyone could weigh in, everyone could have an opinion, and we can talk about this. So as things happen at BravoCon that weekend and everyone wants to hear opinions, that live show is the live show. There's a link in the bios. Slip into my DMs if you can't. This show is selling faster than any of our shows have ever sold, obviously, because at the end of it, it is BravoCon time, and there you go. You guys are going to want to talk about this, so get tickets. But Teresa says, and please come. It's really a fun night. It's funner than it sounds. Teresa says that Bravo execs have separated her and Melissa at BravoCon and gotten different hotels. Now, remember a few years ago when Jennifer Aiden got into it with the Gorgas and Aiden like flung the water? By the way, I don't care about being right. I'm wrong so many times in my life. I'm wrong all the time. But remember when that happened, that thing with the water and all this went down with the bloggers and Melissa Zolnose, and I said, does everyone realize like Jennifer Aiden is going to be the scapegoat? It's very obvious. The smallest person on the totem pole is always going to be the scapegoat. Trust me, when I used to work in corporate America and I ran HR and stuff, it always worked that way. It was always the person we're firing is, oh, I'm like, but this person doesn't deserve to be fired. It didn't matter. They're the ones, they were the scapegoat. I was like, Jennifer Aiden will take the fall of all of this out of Melissa and Teresa. But because of that, remember, she, the water and this and that, and you could be on each side. You could be on Teresa and Jennifer's side, even though Teresa wasn't there, or you could be on the Gorga side. But Bravo was not happy at all that Jennifer flung the water and this and that. And because of that, in the hotel, Bravo executives are so worried that they are putting Teresa in a separate hotel at BravoCon. And you want to know why I call her the animal across the river? And I'm not saying it, I'm not blaming anyone because Joe and Melissa could start it too, but Teresa apparently says, but Gia is going to be in the Joe and Melissa hotel. And hey, Gia, when you run into your aunt and uncle, tell them I said hi. So she's Bravo executives are separating them. But what I don't think Teresa realizes is this is like, that's not a good sign. That proves right there that you're not coming back to New Jersey. Both of you are not coming back because guys, we have to start admitting it all, the tree huggers. You got to admit it. I'm sorry. But you can't even be in the same hotel. Bravo is literally, let me get this straight. Bravo is booking all the talent, including Gia, in one hotel. And they are putting Teresa in a separate hotel. That's like we had Monique Samuels on after that season with the binder, right after she parted ways. And she said Bravo told her to go to the wrong hotel. All the women from Potomac were put in one hotel to go to the reunion. They put Monique in. They said, go to this hotel. She shows up. They say, you're here all alone. What hotels? They did that on purpose to rile Monique up. So that's the only time I've heard of that. But they're not doing it to rile Teresa up. They're doing it because they're actually concerned about a screaming match, God forbid, a physical altercation, more water being thrown. So if they're putting you in a set and she tells Gia to say hi to Aunt Melissa. But the thing is, if they're doing that to separate you guys because they're so concerned about a run-in in Vegas. And guys, I think most of you have been to Vegas, but those of you who haven't, like if you're overseas, the hotels are huge. These are like monster hotels. You know, they say everything is bigger in Vegas. It's true. Yeah, you could run into someone, sure. It's not that strange, but these hotels are huge. So if they're that concerned and they're putting you in a separate hotel and you're telling Gia to say hi to Aunt Melissa and Uncle Joe, that's it. Game over. That proves right there to me that you guys cannot be in the same hotel for they what am I trying to say? It proves that you cannot both be on the show RHONJ if you can't even be in the same hotel. It's like how does Teresa think that unless she's still, but I mean, I know she realizes she's probably not coming back. That's why she's doing all these interviews and, I'm willing to make amends. But wow, this to me is such a glaring fact of like, oh my God, it all really is true. You're really not coming back. Because believe it or not, I don't know everything. And I second guess things. And I'm like, is that really true? But now they're not even letting you stay in the same hotel. And this is in like 43 days, 40 days. That means that there's no way the two of you are filming together, which I know we knew, but this is just more proof to me. Wow, they don't want these. I mean, they are going to be micromanaging this all weekend about Teresa and Melissa running into each other. I mean, this is BravoCon. Tamra doesn't want to run into Scheana. This one, that one. I guarantee you the corporate powers that be at Bravo, and this is when you lose your job. The corporate powers that be are not worried about Tamra and Scheana and this one and Vicky's there and that and this and Meredith Marks. I bet you at a high level, they're really talking about Teresa versus Melissa. And these two can't run into each other. I feel it. And that's when it's like, it ain't worth it. It's just we have hundreds of people here this weekend that are talented. We have thousands of people that have flown from all over the world, and we're worried about we have to put Teresa in a separate hotel. That's where it's like it's not worth the job. I'll tell the same story I told a few weeks ago, where I said a huge RHO and J approached me and wanted to do a weekly show with me, and I'm like, I love this person, love this RHO and J, and I was like, but this is going to be there's going to be texts and emails. And like I've been involved with other podcasts with co-hosts where it's like texts and calls, and it's like, it's not that hard. It's an authentic chat with a podcast. We don't have to plan everything out. We just turn on the mic and relate to these wonderful people that are listening. So I was like, this is such a good look. I mean, this is a huge name in RHONJ history. But I'm telling you, within two phone calls, I was like, I'm not interested in this, really. I mean, how is the money going to work between us? You're probably going to want like a gazillion dollars. No, no, no. And also, you're not going to be happy with anything and you're going to be fine. I'm like, let me run. That's the point. The point is like, this is why it's over for Teresa. So I couldn't believe this is actually true, but it seems it is, and Teresa says it is. So anyway, the Bravo executives have separated them. One more thing before we wrap up. Gia is basically demanding a spinoff for her mother. Now, that I just want to bring that up because it ties to everything I just said. That's also kind of admitting defeat, right? It's the same thing as the two hotels. Why is Gia demanding a spinoff? Now, yes, you could be on RHONJ and have a spinoff. Carolyn Manzo did that, right? I don't know. I thought this was admitting defeat as well because Gia is doing the interviews. We talked about special forces early in the week. I gotta give